शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागं सस्तनोभिः व्यसेम देवहितै यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्षो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति न बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ओम शांति 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 ओम अग्नेनय सुपताराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युजोद्यस्मज्जुहुरानमेन भो इष्टां ते नम उक्तिं विदेम ओम शांति शांति शांतिः ओम आब्रह्मन् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मवर्चसी जायताम् आराष्ट्रे राजन्यः शूरैषभ्यो अतिव्याधि महारथो जायताम् दोग्धीं धेनुर्वोढा नड्वान् आसु सप्तिः पुरन्धिप्योषा जिष्णारतेष्ठः सभेयो युव अस्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायताम् निकामे निकामेन पर्जन्यो न वर्षतु फलवत्यो न भोषधयः पच्यन्तां योगक्षेमो न कल्पेताम् ओम शांति शांति शांतिः ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणचक्षुः स्तोत्रमतो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु अनिराकरणम् अस्तु निराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेश उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ओम शांति शांति शांतिः ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति शांति शांतिः हरि ओम नमस्ते
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। अगजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदं तं भक्तानां एकदं तं उपास्महे। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवम् उपास्महे। देवी प्रपन्नार्तिहरे प्रसीद प्रसीद मातः जगतोऽखिलस्य प्रसीद विश्वेश्वरी पाहि विश्वं त्वमीश्वरी देवी चराचरस्य या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ताम् अग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टां दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। सुतरसितरसे नमः। ओम जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते। जय त्वं देवी चामुण्डे जय भूतार्तिहारिणी जय सर्वगते देवी कालरात्रि नमोस्तुते कालरात्रि नमोस्तुते। So today is again we are entering into the portals of the palace of Mahadevi Durga Parameswari, where she is absolutely ready to help the mankind, the world, and all sorts of problems to all kinds of people. Because she is in different forums. We can't describe exactly what is her form because Sarvaswarupe. And we can't even describe her authority or chairmanship of anything because she is Sarva Isha. And we cannot even measure the strength and power of Devi She is Sarvashakti. Amrutadi Mahashakti Samrutayai Namo Namaha. And in all Shaktis, whatever you want to count from, all of them are in her. They emanate from her and they again get dissolved, enter back or dissolve into her. So thereby, she is Swatantra Sarvatandresi Sadakshina Rupini. So she is having that kind of wisdom, the solution source book. And therefore, to such great Devi, she becomes Mahakali, she becomes Mahanidra Devi, Yoganidra Devi, and she even makes the Mahavishnu also become paralyzed in the sense that he is just kept into the state of sleep, deep sleep. When you are in deep sleep, you are unaware of anything in the world around you and you don't know, you are absolutely different. At that time, unless that Nidra Devi gets out from your eyes, from the eyes of Paramatma capable, he will be not the Chaitanya Surupa, the Chaitanya Shakti will not be there. So all the gods, as you know, started praising goddess, especially Brahmadeva, praising that goddess Nidra Devi, the Mahakali. Nidra is always dark. And she, when once she envelops people, people are not aware of the world outside, anything at all. We have seen number of examples, personal and impersonal, that anybody who is fatigued whole day, toiled whole day, even if he sleeps underneath the tree or on the hard ground, no matter if Nidra Devi were to envelop him, cover him up. That's why Nidra Devi is a very powerful one. In fact, when especially that Nidra Avastha is more in the infant stage, they only grow only when they are in sleep. If they are wakeful, no. Similarly, only when snow falls in Western countries like America, then only they have got more water. Mere rain is no good. There must be also snow, which turns into water plus. So like that, all that Swarupam, Hima, and everything is Parameswari. So we know the background. A Kshatriya Maharaja who lost the battle with enemies and whose treasury was also encroached and all his people turned and he was miserably bad. So with the pretext of going for hunting, he just leaves everything in the state, including his 5 children and all people, and comes to the hermitage of a Maharishi in an ashrama in the forest. And he meets him. And then he was just taking a stroll in the ashrama afterwards. And then he happened to meet a Vaisya, you know the story, by name Samadhi. And he was also having Samana Dukkham. Though he was a very rich merchant, has gathered a lot of property and all that, ultimately the children and other servant folk, everybody was interested in the property of the man, Samadhi, not in the welfare or arogyam or anything about that. It happens like that many times to all people almost. Hardly when they grow older, when they retire from their jobs, there is no good attention for the people. So that's really a problem. And so one bathroom, 10 people in the house. You can imagine the condition of the old people there. So that's how the people used to be on. So Vayasigate Kama Vicharaha is one. And when you stay in Jara, having retired from the office, Vartam Kopin Apruchati Kehe, nobody will ask, Tata, have you taken your lunch? Have you taken your breakfast? Have you taken your coffee? Nobody will ask. Because each one is self-centered, look to their work and they get out. But only unusually in some houses, in some people only, you can find the younger one giving importance for the older sort, as Bacon tells it. So the younger one giving attention and service to older sort, whatever it is, however it is really a great satisfaction of health for the older people. So this Samadhi also was driven away, dropped off all his property, and both of them have revealed their Samana Dukkham. They go to Swamiji, and Swamiji said, the main problem was the mind. See, although we have been away far from the madding crowd, from our family and all attachment, our mind is not at all stable. It is just thinking of my children, my property, my people. How is that my mind is simply unstable? What I should do? Please give me some way that I can stabilize my mind and see that I get back my wants fulfilled and all that. Then that Mahamuni told, Tamupai Maharaja Sharanam Parameswarim Aradhita Saivan Runam Bhoga Swarga Apavargada. Aya, you try to resort yourself to the feet of Mahadevi. Tavahi Charanaveva Saranao. Shankaracharya tells it. And then what she will do? Aradhita Saivan Runam. When people absolutely surrender, say that and give up their ego. Nenu, Nanu, Nandu, Nam Prapancha, Nan, that Nakara, that personal ego, surrender. Nothing belongs to you. Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. So Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam. Sarvam Brahma, any and everything in the world is Brahma, belongs to Brahma, and moreover, all things are not revealed to you, they are secret. Unless you seek them, you will not be able to uncover them. That's why it is called Sharanu. Sharanagati Paddhati anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ವೇದಾಂತದಲ್ಲಿ. So unless you approach, surrender, Tvam Ahvaye, Tvam Sharanangachami, even you come like that, then you are really better. So then when these Madhukaitava Rakshasas, who are born out of the Kivimala, the earwax, they are good. But suddenly you don't know the Rakshasa Buddhi, otherwise called short-tempered. Normally, even among the nakshatras, Rakshasa nakshatra is there, and Manava nakshatra is there. Deva nakshatras are there. The 27 stars are divided into 3 divisions. And whenever you bring matches between man and girl, man and woman, then you should always think of the Manava Deva and Deva Manava, but never you should do marriage between Manava Rakshasas. If you do Manava Rakshasas, sometimes better, but Deva Rakshasam is highly difficult. So like that, people have given a lot of cautions. So these Madhukaitavas, basically they are Rakshasas. So they wanted to attack, kill Brahmadeva and occupy the Brahma's position and so on. Then the problem started. Brahmadeva looked at his father, Vishnu, and which time his father was sleeping in deep. And then he thought prayer is the only formula through which you can accomplish your desires. Prarthana is important because you have to beg, you have to beseech, and you have to surrender, and you have to give up anything of your own. In other words, it is called as the Tyaga. Tyage naike namrutatvamanasuhu. ಆ ತ್ಯಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಖಂಡಿತ ನಾವು ಸುಖವಾಗಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ತ್ಯಾಗವನ್ನು ಆದಷ್ಟು ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ತ್ಯಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ರಿಫೈಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಏನೂ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದಿ ತ್ಯಾಗ ಬಿಗಿನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮದರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫಾದರ್. Then yourself, when you become mother and father, and like that, the parampara continues. Then when Swamiji said that Amavaru is Nitya, she is Jaganmurti, and she is a Mahamaya, and she will cast her Mahamaya on all people, and that Mahamaya will be able to work wonders with people, and people get succumbed to that. But if you want to get rid of that, Mahamaya or that Yoganidra Devi, what you have got to do, you have read it in 782 sloka. Yaya tvaya jagat srashta jagat ati atti yo jagatu so abhinidravasam nitaha kastvam stotum ishvarah Vishnuhu sariragrahanam ईशानमेव च तारितास्ते यतोत्तः त्वां कः स्तोतुं शक्तिमान् भवेतु. So in then all the Saumya, and we have come across to the 80th sloka in the Stotram extended to Yoganidra Devi. I hope you are all aware you are reading, because in this stotra, the God started telling that, Amma, you are any and everything in the world. You are the offering for the gods. You are the offering for the Pitu Devatas. You are really worthy to be respected by one and all. You are the sound. You are the mantra. You are the akshara. You are the trimatras. You are everything you are. And you are Prakriti. You are the one who divided the things into three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamo gunas. You are Kalaratri, Maharatri, Moharatri, and all these Ratris are the Aruna. When you go to Benares, I don't know whether any one of you have seen, there is on the Shakti Ghat or so, there is Mahakali, Maharatri temple. And we had to wait some time, because at 7 o'clock only at that hour, they open the doors, having done Alankara for Devi. They close down, and at 7 exactly they open at that time. When once the doors are opened, Mahakali, Mahadevi, Maharidra Devi, Mahabhayangara Swarupani, Ghora Rupa, etc. Nodidre, the red tongue was extended out from her mouth, from her lips, and Mahakali, so the eyes and everything was so Ghora, so that the very appearance will make people terrified. In fact, even Ravanasura got terrified looking at Mahakali. When Narada came and told, hey, Narada, whom are you taking? Now he said to Ravanasura, told Narada, no, I am taking the most exquisite beauty, the lady which was there next to Lord Rudra, Shiva, in Kailas. I just want to take her to Lanka and marry her. Then Narada said, no, 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 look back. She is not as much imaginably beautiful as you think about. You just look back. 3 times Narada interfered, intercepted Ravana's way. And he just at third time, Ravana looked back, then found Mahakali, Kapaladhari, etc. ಆ ಭಯಂಕರವಾದ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ನೋಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ even Ravana was scared for a while. Why I should marry a girl like this, who is Gora, who is Rundamalini, who has got Damstras, who is very black, etc. Masivarnam. So he thought that Shiva has cheated him. Immediately he took back. Then Arpana he did to her, to Shiva, said, no, you have cheated me. I want now, in place of her, because I'm returning, I want to. So the story goes. Anyway, Bhukailas they call it. So here she is Prakriti, Gunatrayi Vibhavini, and she is Lakshmi, she is Iswari, she is Hridevi, she is Buddhi, she is the Bodha Lakshana, she is Lajja, she is Pushti, Tushti, and Shanti and Shanti. So Shanti and Shanti are most important things for people to grow and prosper us. If our mere Shanti does not help us, we should also have the Shanti. And not only that, in 80th sloka, we have noted she is having weapons. So I think Sivalingavara, please read from 80 to 85. First chapter.
ಓದ್ತೀನಿ ಗುರು. Om Kadgini Gora Gadini Chakrini Tata Shankini Chapini Bana Ushundi Parigayuda Soumya Soumyatara Shesha Soumyebhyastvati Sundari Para 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 Paranam Parama Tvameva Parameshwari Yaccha Kinchit Tvachit Vastu Sadasadva Kilatmike Tasya Sarvasya Ya Shaktihi Satvam Kim Stuyase Maya Yaya Tvaya Jagat Prashta Jagat Patyattiyo Jagat Swapi Nidravasam Nitaha Kastvam Totumish Maheshwaraha Vishnu Sharira Grahana Mahameshana Yevacha Karitaste Yato Tastvam Kam Stotam Shaktiman Bhavet.
Yes, exactly. So in these 4 slokas, the stotram to Mahadevi, Mahakali, Raudra Swarupini, Nidra Devi, and who has completely engulfed the Vishnu Sarira. And when once he has engulfed the entirety of the Vishnu Shakti, then Vishnu is simply a Shava. Shivaha Shavo Bhavati Shaktihi Nasti. That's why Shankaracharya has started with the ending name of Lalita Devi and then told the condition or the state of Shiva in case Shakti does not join him. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadapi Prabhavati. So Shiva Shaktya Yukto, when Shiva is only coupled with the Shakti, Shaktaha Prabhavitum, he becomes capable to do any and everything and exhaustively and with all distinction he will do it. Nachedevam devaha nakalu kusalaha spanditumapi. So if at all it is not like that, then the Devaha, even maybe he is a Deva, he cannot even shake the blade of grass. That Shakti is in the Hrudayam, is in the heart. That Shakti is that anybody who has got heart attack or heart problem, he cannot lift a small sheet of paper up until the heart agrees to use the work, use the Shakti. Heart patients know it. Heart attack people know it, and those who sustain that also, because heart is the most important physical member in our body, and that heart is the Shakti. That's why Hrudayantarale Sthita Devi anta keltare. Here, where is the Shakti Swarupini seated? Hrudayantaralದಲ್ಲಿ. She is there, Guhya, Guhyatara, Guhya Rupini, and Guhya Shakti. ಅದು ಅಮ್ಮವಾರಿ యొక్క పేర్లు. ఆ గుహ్య అనవగా ఈవెన్ Subramanya Swami in Kartika Masam, we remember the Kartikeya, Kritika Nakshatra, the mother's having mother. So Subramanya Swami, Puja, Aradhana, Abhisheka, everything has got to be done for Subramanya, because not only Shiva is important in Kartika Masam, also Subramanya, also Vishnu, also Devi. Therefore, here Subramanya is called as a Guha. He always be found on the mountain places. He is found, the Subramanya Swami and Lakshmi Narasimha Swami, both of them are mountain gods. And in Bengaluru near, there is Ghati Kshetram, and that's also in a hill. And there, Narasimha Swami and Subramanya Swami, both of them have shared the Garbhagudi. So when you go there, you will see Narasimha Swami reflected in the mirror, while Subramanya directly available. Therefore, if you happen to visit the Ghati Kshetram, a village, Makli Durga they call it, there you will see, you will have darshan of both the people. the Subramanya and Narasimha Swami, both are taken to be Guha. And because our Mattuswami Dikshitar is a strong devotee of Subramanya, Kartikeya, so he made Guru Guha, made Guha, Subramanya is Guru. And therefore, he made that Guru Guha as the mudra for his compositions. And so we don't know. And Mattuswami Dikshitar is a top Srividyopasaka. And he has made a Navavarana Kritis, Navagraha Kritis, and so much. So even today, Muthuswami Dikshitar, Tyagaraja and Shama Shastri are live, and their compositions only become the work for all the people, musicians to do concert. ಸಂಗೀತ ಕಚೇರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವರೇ ಬರೋದು, ಇವರ ಕೀರ್ತನೆಗಳೇ ಆಡಬೇಕು. ಹಾಡೋದಲ್ಲೇ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಇದೆ, ರೀತಿ ಇದೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ಈ ಗುಹಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಶಿವ ಈಸ್ ಅನರ್ಜೆಟಿಕ್, ಬಟ್ ಶಿವದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಶವ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಶವ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಅಮ್ಮವಾರು ಈಸ್ ಸೌಮ್ಯ. ಸೌಮ್ಯ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ಲೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟು ಲುಕ್ ಇಟ್. And she has got weapons: Khadgam, Shulam, Gada, Chakram, Shankam, Chapa, Bana, Musundi, Pariga. These are all the various ayudhas she is holding. She can yield them up, and with that she can make wonderful achievements and war success. So, in spite of the Ayudha Dharini Durga, everybody loves to see her with her weapons and with her hands. Therefore, she is called as Saumya. Saumya means Sukhakari, very pleasant in appearance. The moment you look at Durga, you are not scared. You feel attracted to her. For example, Kanaka Durga Devi in Bejawada, in the Kiladri mountain, and there's a lot of history behind her. Kiladri is the mountain in Vijayawada where Arjuna did penance for the sake of Pashupatastram, and he got it there, Vijayawada. So Vijaya, that's why Vijaya is the name of the, Vada is the township. Vijaya is the name of the Arjuna, because Arjuna made the entire area sanctified, made Shiva to come, and did lot of penance. So it's a Tapo Bhumi, Siddha Bhumi, and therefore there is a lot of crowd for Durga Parameswari, and there are so many miracles also. Why I am talking to see Saumya. And Saumya Taras also, not only simply Ye Saumyatvam, pleasant appearance, beautiful, calm, quiet, equipoised appearance, but Saumya Tara. Saumya Tara means a superlative degree. There cannot be any more beautiful things than that of the Parameswari's appearance. She is supremely great, supremely beautiful. So what the Saumya Tara, our Kalidasa in Kumara Sambhavam or elsewhere, he describes Parvati's beauty to be something ಸರ್ವೋಪಮಾ ದ್ರವ್ಯ ಸಮುಚ್ಚಯೇನ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಮಾ ದ್ರವ್ಯಗಳು ಏನಿದೆ, ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆಯೋ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೋ ವಿಗ್ರಹ, ಸೋ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರಿ, ಲಲಿತಾ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರಿ ಆರ್ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ಅಮ್ಮ, ಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಆರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್, ಆ ದೇವಿಗಳು ಆರ್ ದೇವಿ ಆಸ್ ಸಚ್ is Sarvopama Dravya Samuchaya. She is the very embodiment or rasi of all Upama Dravyas taken together. So you can imagine, that's why Kalidasa is absolutely a bhakta, a devotee to Mahakali, Maharaudri, and ultimately he asked for moksham. Definitely he will be getting the moksham. Even today, Kalidasa is the first person. Pura Kavinam Ganana Prasange Kanishtika Adhishtita Kalidasaha Anta. Hange, Kalidasa and so many Vishnu Devi Bhaktas are there in the world. Sri Vidyopasakas are there, and they are all very much nearer to Devi, and that Devi will take hold of them. And so, Asesha Saumyebhya Atisundari, because of her gracious collectivity endowed in her entire personality, she becomes Atisundari, she becomes Tripura Sundari. అమ్మవారిని చూడడము అంటే మహా అదృష్టం. అలా అందుకోసం చిత్రకారులందరూ, ఆల్ ది పెయింటర్స్ ఆర్ and they are able to take hold of the vigraha, I mean the dhyana slokas of Devi, and bring out entire absolute grace in the face. The moment, though they are having all these weapons in her hand, Ammavaru, and also sitting upon the lion and all that, but look at her face and her kiritam and tilakam and all that, how attractive, gracious she is. That's why she is called Adisundari. And moreover, para, apara, both are there. Para outside, apara beyond it. Paramatvam, she is staying at the top head of any and everything. Something like the Arunachala Shiva. See, when people go to Arunachalam, why? They make a Arunachalam mountain Pradakshanam Magtara. Sikhara Pradakshanam, 14 kilometers or so. And on the top of the Arunachalam, especially during the Kartika Masam, there will be too much rush on Arunachalam. Aruna itself is a wonderful name, where Shiva Anugraha Shakti will be operative very much. So the Alankara done to Arunachaleswara is absolutely different than that done in the Ujjaini Mahakala, contrasting, or Someswara in the Somanatha temple, or Visveswara in the Kasi, Vanaras, or Triambakeswara. The 12 Jyotirlingas Alankaravannu ಒಂಥರ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡಿದರೆ then you will get to know. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಂಥ ಮಹಾ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ ಸಹಿತನಾಗಿರುವ ಶಿವನಿಗೆ ಪತ್ನಿಯಾಗಿರುವ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ಹೆಂಗಿರಬೇಕು? ಅತಿಸುಂದರಿ, ಪರಾಪರಾಣಂ ಪರಮ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ, ಇಂಥ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ, ಇಂಥ ವಿಭವ ಇದ್ದ ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ, there cannot be second person to name, to occupy that kind of highest state. Tumeva Parameswari, Amma, you are the Ishwarinam, and there is no Ishwari to you beyond you. That's why Ishwarasya Ishwaraha. That's why that Isatvam, Vasitvam, all these Ashtabhutis are there. And in Khadgamala Stotram, you have got wonderful exposition of the entirety of the Shakti of Devi Lalita or Durga Parameswari, Khadgini, Sulini, Pasini, etc. And at the same time, she has got Aishwarya, Anima, Mahima, Ella, Siddhidatri, oh good God. So I happen to write up on Devi Khadgamala Stotram, which has been published in the Atlanta Shiva Temple Savanir when they had the Kumbhabhishekam, a small article. And also I wrote many pages, but they summarized it to publish it. So why I am telling is, Durga Parameswari is top, and there is nobody who can do it. And because even Shiva cannot dictate her, because she is said to be Swatantra Sarvatantresis, and she is Sarvatantra Isi and Swatantra. The same effect has come to Acharya Shankara also. He is also called Sarvatantra Swatantraya Sadatma Advaita Vedine Srimate Shankararyaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha ಅಂತ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು, ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಸರ್ವದುಃಖ ಪ್ರಶಾಂತ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಪರಾಪರಾಣಾಂ ಪರಮಾ ಪರತ್ವಮೇವ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟು, ಪ್ರೈಸು, to whom we can shoot up or attribute only to Durga Parameswari. And Durga Devi is in the form of Mahakali. I told you that all Grama Devatas, all other emanations of Devatas like Brahmani, Vaishnavi, Aindri, Varahi, Narasimhi, etc. They are all the emanations from Adishakti Swarupini Amma. That's what when Sumbari Sumbhas or Mahishasura were to talk, Amma, you are too many. How can I fight with you? I am alone. You have destroyed all my army, all my accomplice, everything you robbed, and I am alone. Allowed to fight with you, and you are so many. How can I fight? Then the Mahadevi tells, Ekaivaham bhavamyatra ka dvitiya mamavapara. Hey, Mudha, ಎಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನಾನೊಬ್ಬಳೇ ಇರೋದು, ಈ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ, ನಾನೊಬ್ಬನೇ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡು ಅಂತ ಶಿ ವಿತ್ಡ್ರ. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಎಮಿನೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮೀ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ so many heroes to help you in battle. So because all of them are done with, Narasimhi and all these respective deities or Ammavaru, Sakti Swarupinis, they took care of the other Rakshasas. So Raktakshi, Raktasura, ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನೂ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ she became alone, and then she became lonely, she became singular, and there was a fight with him, and he showed all his war skill. I have written an article on the war. In fact, my speech on war skills of Devi Durga was for a short time, but it doesn't matter. But I wrote a full article on that, which will appear in the ensuing November issue. You can just go through. And so then we see that Durga Saptasati is absolutely devoted for the war skills of Devi. That's why when you talk about Samala Devi, she is a Dakshinamurti Rupini, she is the Mantrini, she is the Saraswati, and she is all in all. So Samalamba, when you make, she is a goddess of Gnana Pradayini. And when you turn to the Varahi, the left hand, or the commander-in-chief, or Visukrapranaharana Varahi Viranandita, Mantrinyamba Virachita Vishankavadatoshita, ಈ ನಾಮಗಳು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಲಲಿತಾ ಸಹಸ್ರನಾಮದಲ್ಲಿ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಮೈ ಓನ್ ವೇ to explain the meaning of all these namas from Friday next, I will leave in our Atlanta group people. And of course, your mornings at 6:30. And I have already written book on Lalita Parameswari and Durga Saptasati and all that. Anyway, not to speak about myself, it's all because of Amma's grace that operative upon us in our own karma and grahachara and puja and all that. So, ಯಚ್ಚಕಿಂಚಿತ್ ವಸ್ತು ಸದಸತ್ ಅಖಿಲಾತ್ಮಕೆ. ಅಮ್ಮ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರಿ, don't think that she is always a positive goddess. She is also negative. She is also samharini. See, samharesmin, when samhara take place in the Saundarya Lahari, Shankaracharya says, Amma, everybody merges. There is not anybody left out, irrespective of their state of being, whether they are gods or asuras or manavas or jantus or whatever it is. Any and even panchabhutas, everything is being withdrawn. And when she is withdrawing all that, Mahasamharesmin anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ Shankaracharyaru, sloka number sometime around after 25. So ಈ ಮಹಾಸಂಸಾರದಲ್ಲಿ nobody is accepted, and only Sadashiva is accepted, because of Lalita Parameswari or Parvati. She only made Sada compliment or a title or honorific name to Shiva. Shiva goes away, but Sadashiva remains to make a Pralaya Tandava, and she will be the first spectator. Therefore, illi Sat, Asatu, Achila, Atma. So, Sadatma, Advaita Vedine. Sadatma and all these Dvaita, Advaita, Visishta Advaita Vedins are always Sadatmas only. They have not, they try to explore the Vedantic principles and explain who is Brahma, what about the contact of the Brahma with the human beings and other beings, and where is the identity, where is separation, where is superimposition, etc. All these permutations and combinations in Vedanta have been shown forth to us for our choice. If you whatever you love, you take it. Some Advaitins have become Dvaitins, and Dvaitins have taken to Advaita, and both of them have taken to Visishtadvaita. It's all matter of their own personal choice and practice. So, but ultimately, what we understand is Ammavare, everything goes to Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Keshavam Pratigachati. Akashat paditam toyam yatha gacchati sagaram ಸರ್ವದೇವ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಕೇಶವಂ ಪ್ರತಿಗಚ್ಚತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ದೇವತೆಗಳು ಯಾವ ಮಂತ್ರ ಉಪಾಸನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ನೋ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಾನು ಗಣಪತಿ ಉಪಾಸನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಉಪಾಸನ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಸರ್ವಮಂತ್ರములు ನೀವೇ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅನ್ನಮಾಚಾರ್ಯ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ in his, one of his kirtanas. You have heard him also. There are more than 6,000 kirtanas, kritis by Annamacharya of 13th century, 14th century, and even Purandardas happened to meet Annamacharya, and one of the sangas, Annamacharya says, Sakala mantramulu nive, sarva ushadhamulu nive. That's why we say in that mantra, Sudarsana mantra or Dharmantari mantra, in Sarvaushada Chakraswamine Narayanaya Swaha, Sarvaushada Chakraswamin, and Sarvavyadhi Prasamanaha, Sarva Dukha Prasantaha, etc. All that kind of super power is vested Mahasudarsanaya. So Mahasudarsana, Sudarsana Chakra is there. So everything is a chakra. That's why even here also Sarva Udana Prita Chitta Lakinyamba Swarupini Lalita Sasana Sarva Usada Prita. She ultimately, people have got the choice. Chitra Anna Prita Manasa Yai Namaha, Payasa Anna Prita Manasa Yai Namaha, Dajjanya Sakta Hridaya Yai Namaha. So Asakti, Preeti, etc. You see, but basically Sarvodana Chitta Andre, in heart of hearts, she is having no distinction for the kind of Ayurvedyam you supply, you offer to her. She is ready to accept any and everything with bhakti offered to her. In fact, in Durga Sahasranamam, many hunters are the devotees of Durga Parameswari, Atavikas. Therefore, ಅರಣ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದವರಿಗೆ how can they offer cooked wonderful food? So that's why there is a nama, a compliment for her. Dushtamamsa bhakshinyai ದುರ್ಗಾಂಬಿಕಾಯೈ ನಮಃ ಸ್ವಾಹ. ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಮ್ಮವಾರಿಗೆ ದುಷ್ಟ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಈವನ್ ಯಾರು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಭಕ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಏನು ಅರ್ಪಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಆಲ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ her. So she has no choice, only we have got the choice. So in fact, we have got to get rid of the choice. That's why we say that Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha me siddhyantam. Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha. Iti ಪಂಚ ತನ್ಮಾತ್ರಗಳು, ಪಂಚ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಜ್ಞಾನೇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು, ಕರ್ಮೇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು, ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಸನಾ ಧಾಮ ಪೀಡಿತ ಅಂತ. ರಸನಾಧಾಮ ಪೀಡಿತರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದರೆ ಅಮ್ಮವಾರು ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಬಿಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿ ರಸನಾ ಟೆಂಪಲ್. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದೆರ್ ಆರ್ 6 buds in our tongue. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಸೇ. ಅಂದ್ರೇನು 6 buds ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ವೀಟು, ಸವರು, ಬಿಟ್ಟರು ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಟ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ, ಸಾಲ್ಟಿ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಯಾ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ನನ್ನು ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದ ಟಂಗ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಫುಲ್ ಹೋಲ್ಸೇಲ್ ಟಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್. ಆದರೆ ಡಯಾಬಿಟಿಕ್ಸು, BP ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸು, ಆ್ಯಂಟಿಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ಸು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋ ರೋಗಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಟೇಸ್ಟು ಡಲ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನನಗೆ ಸಿಹಿನೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಖಾರನೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಉಪ್ಪು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ತರಹ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇಫ್ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಈಸ್ ಡಲ್. ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಶಿವಾನುಗ್ರಹ, ಶಿವಾನಿ anugraha is there, your tongue, the rasana shakti will be normal. When you are having your rasana shakti complete purnam, you enjoy any and every dish in the world. Therefore, Here you observe, I go on, but I should control my flow. So here he says, Tasya sarvasya ya shakti satvam kim stuyase maya. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಶಬ್ದ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ವಸ್ತುದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ in the world any and everything whether edible or non-edible or etc. there is a kind an amount of shakti. Even a small pebble has got a Shakti. A squirrel has got a Shakti. A mountain has got a Shakti. An ant also a Shakti. And the elephant has got a Shakti. That's why Apipilika Brahma Paryantam, Abala Gopavidita. And like that, our poets have taken to count, to describe the Swarupam and presence of the Parameswara, Parameswari in any and every bit, indifferent to the size, indifferent to the magnitude, indifferent to the place of locations, etc. Any and everything has got energy. Everything has got, that's why Sarvaswarupe, Sarvese, Sarvashakti Samanvite, Yadevi Sarvabhuteshu, Shakti Rupena Samsthita Namaha Tasyai Namaha. So that way, here it is Sarvasya Ya Shakti Satvam. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಎಂತೆಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀನೇ. ಯು ಆರ್ ದಟ್ ಶಕ್ತಿ. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಅದರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ದಟ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ that Shakti operates. What is the Shakti operation? What you call is vibration. Mantra Ucharana, Shabda Nirgamana, the sound analysis. That's what we call linguistics, one subject branch, third subject. In fact, in Pune, I think we have got one advanced study of linguistics only there. And also you have got in Mysore one more institute, languages. So ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ PhDs ತಗೊಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ವರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಮೋರ್. ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್? ನೋ PhD is a complete fellow. No PhD or such a scholar be proud, I am this, I am that. Nothing. Vedavaridhi or Mahamahopadhyaya or Bruhaspati, all these are only nominal. But real Bruhaspati is Bruhaspati itself. And real Medhadevi is Medhadevi Saraswati herself. So any and everything, top is that. But we have to get only a pinch of that from her grace. ಒಂದು ಪಿಂಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ರೇಸ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಸಾಕು ನಮಗೆ, ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಶೈನ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್. ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಗ್ರಹ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬೇಡ. ಸೊ ನಿಗ್ರಹ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬೇಡ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣರಿಗೆ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ನಿಗ್ರಹ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಕ್ಷತ್ರಿಯರಿಗೆ ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಿಗ್ರಹ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಕಡಿಮೆ. ಸೊ ಈವನ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ powers get divided. Brahmins' blood clot is slow, but blood clot women is, and men, I mean Kshatriyas and Shudras. So there is always difference in the blood clotting and all that. Anyway, why I'm remembering all that, because whatever kind of energy or Shakti or vibration, vibrant power in all that is Devi herself. You cannot separate Shakti from everything in the world. Therefore, ultimately, Brahmadeva comes to the conclusion, Satvam kim stuyase maya. If what I can describe you, ma, I am just failing. My vocabulary is failing. I cannot reach up. Something like trying to reach the top of the pillar. Because the top pillar, there was a test given to Brahmadeva and other people. Brahma said some kind of untruth. ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಹೆಡ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಕಪಾಲಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ವೈ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದೇವ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ಟ್ರೂತ್. And like that, we see that exactly something. Even today, we have one temple in Daksharamam. We have a wonderful pillar. And there you can see that truth in Draksharam, considered to be Dakshina Kasi, where Shiva, whose lingam is very much high, Draksharamam. And so Shiva is found in any every place in the world. So Sivamayam Jagatu. In fact, there are people who are talking on Sivamayam, that being Shiva andre Shanti, Shiva andre fortune, Shiva andre Arogyam. And so whoever studies Veda, he is called Veda Shiva Shivo Veda, Vedadhyayi Sada Shiva and ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಶಿವತ್ವ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. So he says, and moreover, after telling I am just defeated to completely exhaust, even Shankaracharya also says, ತುಹಿನಗಿರಿ ಕನ್ಯೆ ತ್ವಾಂ ತೊಲಯಿತುಂ ಕವೀಂದ್ರಾ ಶಿಕ್ಷ್ಯಂತೆ. Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, all these gods are trying to describe the extent of your beauty and all that. No, because it is impossible for anybody to imagine, describe, fix up the limits of your Saundarya. That's why it is called Saundarya Lahari anta. Lahari andrenu, not fixed at all. For example, the waves in the ocean, never you can always say the measure. One wave like that, one wave like that, but ultimately when sometimes the waves can rise up to 20 feet high or even higher than that. So the wavelength is always short. I happen to look at, go to Bandar or, the Samudra Thiram, where after the tsunami, and could see the houses, how they are being neatly cut by the waves of the ocean at that time. ಬ್ಲೇಡಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಎರೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೋ, ದಿ ಟಾಪ್ ಅಟ್ ಒನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ದಿ ಪಿಲ್ಲರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಐ ಸಾ ದಿ ಡಿವಾಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಡನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಬೈ ಟು ದಿ ಸುನಾಮಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಶೋರ್. That I could imagine what a blade it is. The waves have got the water blades ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ಯಯಾ ತ್ವಯಾ ಜಗತ್ಸೃಷ್ಟ ಜಗತ್ಪಾತಿ ಅತ್ತಿಯೋ ಜಗತ್ತು. ಅಮ್ಮ, not only you create the world, not only you maintain the world, not only you, but you also eat that all that. ನೀನು ಏನೇನು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀನು ತಿಂತೀಯ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನೇ ತೈತ್ರಿಯ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ನಂ? ಅದ್ಯತೆ ಅತ್ತಿ ಚ ಭೂತಾನಿ ತಸ್ಮಾದನ್ನಂ ಪ್ರಮುಚ್ಯತೆ. ಸಿ ಅದ್ಯತೆ ಅತ್ತಿ ಚ ಭೂತಾನಿ. ಸೊ ಅನ್ನಂ ಈಸ್ ಬೀಂಗ್ ಈಟನ್ ಬೈ ಪೀಪಲ್, and the same annam will eat you also, which means diseases. See, ಅನ್ನದೇವ ವ್ಯಾಧಯ ಸಮುತ್ಪದ್ಯಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಅನ್ನ ಶುದ್ಧಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಶುದ್ಧಿ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಊಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೆನು. ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಈಟ್ ಎನಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್. There are several people eat what is available in the water, what is available in the mountain, what is available in the air. Any and everything people eat it. That's why virus comes up. ಈ COVID-19 ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು? ಚೀನಾಯಿಂದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದೇ ಈಟ್ ಎನಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್, ಇವನ್ ದೇ ಈಟ್ ಕಾಕ್ರೋಚ್ ಪಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್. ಬಟ್ ಶುದ್ಧಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಆಹಾರ ಶುದ್ಧವು ಸತ್ವ ಶುದ್ಧಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ we have got a division. In 17th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has gone to kitchen and described about the division of the ahara kind. If at all you want to have a moksha prapti and be a good yogin of par excellence, you must have discretion in your diet programming. Any and everything you should not eat, and any other time you should not eat. So, but you should have discretion and choice, and then only. A nutrition doctor will say, eat one fruit per day. One fruit per day compulsorily you eat. ಈ ತರಹ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಹತ್ರ ಬರಬೇಕು ಫಾರ್ ದ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್. ಎನಿವೆ, ಸೊ ಅಂಡ್ ಅತ್ತಿ ಚಯು, ಅತ್ತಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ನಮಗೆ ತಿಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಶರೀರವನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ತಿನ್ನೋ ಫುಡ್ಡೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಶರೀರವನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಯಾರು ಗಮನಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಯ್ಯೋ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಟುಡೇಸ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಟುಮಾರೋಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಯು ಈಟ್ ಟುಡೇ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಮ್ಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ. ಟುಮಾರೋ ಯು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಐ ಏಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. Somebody yesterday told me, sir, I went to one temple. There they gave me the food that prepared at morning 4 o'clock, at afternoon 2:30, 3 o'clock. I ate. My stomach did not agree. I'm sick, I don't come for the class, like that. Or I don't do anything, I slept on. ಸೊ ಈ ತರಹ ಫುಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ಆಧಾರ ಬೀಳುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಈ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರಿ ಅನುಗ್ರಹದಿಂದ అమ్మవారే మనల్ని తినేస్తుంది, అమ్మవారే మనల్ని భోజనం చేస్తుంది. బికాజ్ అమ్మవారే మనం సృష్టించింది కాబట్టి. సో దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ సృష్టికర్త మహావిష్ణు, whose Mahamaya you are away from him, you have made him go to rest, not doing anything. Therefore, Amma, this kind of fellow, Krishna, Nidravasam Nitaha, this fellow has been enveloped and eclipsed by you, and therefore he has become Chaitanya Rahitam, Chaitanya Rahitanagidane. So, ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ವಿಷ್ಣು ಶರೀರ ಗ್ರಹಣಂ ಅಹಂ ಈಶಾನ ಏವ ಚ ತಾರಿತಾಃ ತೇ ಯತಃ ಅತಃ ತ್ವಾಂ ಕಃ ಸ್ತೋತುಂ ಶಕ್ತಿವಾನ್ ಭವೇತು. Ultimately, Brahmadeva himself loses and accept the defeat in respect of scaling the energy, scaling the or measuring the amount of Shakti, amount of Chaitanyata, Chaitana Shakti in Paramatma. All that Chaitanya Shakti is grabbed. In fact, Surya Grahanam, Chandra Grahanam, only little will be caught by the Rahu Ketus. But there is one time, sometime, when there will be absolute Surya Grahanam, which is the whole world dips in darkness. When Surya is caught up by the Rahu or Ketu. We have experienced. Amale, Rahu or Ketu, slowly they get out. As they get out, you find the light slowly spreading into the world. So that's our common experience. But imagine about Mahavishnu, who is the very embodiment of energy, activity, protection, sustenance, killing, everything. ಅಂತ ಅವನೇ ಕ್ಲಿಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ದೆನ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ದಿ ಯೋಗನಿದ್ರಾದೇವಿ, ಮಹಾಮಾಯಾದೇವಿ, ಮಹಾಕಾಳಿ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿಣಿ, ಬಟ್ ಅತಿ ಸುಂದರಿ, but having all ayudas, that kind of Mahadevi were to eclipse the very source book, very source of that, then what can be then? That's why we every day make a prayer to Indra, Yata Indra Bhayamahe, Tato no Abhayam Krudhi, Maghavan Sekdita Vatan Navutaye, Vidvisho Vimrudho Jahi. This mantra from Mahanarayana Upanishad, every day you recite. Because especially when you are taking bath. Yata Indra Bhayamahe, Tato no Abhayam Krudhi. So fear arises from 100,000 sources. ಯಾವ ಸೋರ್ಸಿಂದ ಭಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗತ್ತೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಭಯ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಯು ನಿಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಔಟ್, ಯು ರಿಮೂವ್ ದಟ್. ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ some of the parts of the body, when they become useless and harmful for the body, doctors, surgeons remove it. They remove leg, remove fingers, they remove calayum or this, they remove the uterus, etc. because no more. When once it is removed, they become again normal. So ಈ ತರಹ ಇದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರಣಭೂತವಾಗಿ, ಶಕ್ತಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರಣಭೂತವಾಗಿರೋ ವಿಷ್ಣುವು ಈ ಯೋಗನಿದ್ರಾದೇವಿಯಿಂದ ಎಕ್ಲಿಪ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ, ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಧೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಲ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಯರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿಪೌಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಮಹಾವಿಷ್ಣು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ in one sukta you got that ವಿಷ್ಣು ಅಂತಿಮೋ ದೇವ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿನೋ ಮಿಮೀತಾಂ ಸೂಕ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ ವೇದಾ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಸ್ವಸ್ತಿನೋ ಮಿಮೀತಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ? ವಿಷ್ಣು ಈಸ್ ಅಂತಿಮ ದೇವ. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಗಾಡ್ ಟು ಮಹಾವಿಷ್ಣು. Therefore, Vishwam Vishnu Vashatkaraha Bhuta Bhavya Abhavat Prabhu. Well, like that. So, with this kind of prayer done by Parameswara, Brahmadeva, to Mahamaya, Mahanidra Devi, who has taken a permanent seat in the eyes of Mahavishnu, Then she becomes pleased and she will talk to Brahmadeva. She will get out. Those slokas we'll see next. And another 10 slokas are there, whereat we complete our Prathama Charitam. And there is a good fight for 1,000 years with the Madhukaitava Rakshasas by Mahavishnu. Ultimately, the Madhukaitava Rakshasas are done with, and Loka Kalyana has taken place. All gods are restored to their respective positions. This is the summary of the Prathama Charitam, which is very, very powerful, which we have got to do on the Saraswati, actually, on the Saraswati, on Devi Navaratris, on Mula Nakshatra, and Saptami day, we start, recite any number of times the Prathama Charitam of Durga Saptasati. You will get your wants and desires fulfilled. Om Swasti, I stop here today. Om Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanam. Hedapa Masolingaya.
Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahabijam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyanta. Markaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamasta. Shri Vasudevarpanamasta. Shri Veda Purusha Shirvadostu. Om Shri Matru Charanaravindarpanamasta. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Namaste.
I know you can read Durga's dictionary meaning of the slokas, physical. That's what we call Vachyartha. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಚ್ಯಾರ್ಥ, ಪ್ರತೀಯಮಾನಾರ್ಥ, ವಕ್ರೋಕ್ತಿ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಅಲಂಕಾರ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ ವಾಚ್ಯಾರ್ಥವನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್, ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಎ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ವೆಲ್ತ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. Because you are not all science students and you have no time. You are busy in your own other professional activities and engagements and pressures and tensions and stress and all that. But still, unless you lift your head up, you can't see the sky. ಅದರಿಂದ ಮೊಬೈಲೇ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ವೇ ವಿ ಶಲ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು go to the Vachyartha journey.